And thank you guys, as always, for being here. As Allison said, a really exciting weekend for us. I thought we started the weekend with some really exciting play against Pacific. We had a 4-hour turnaround, a 3.5-hour turnaround, and then we were back on the court with UC San Diego for their big home opener. And it was really exciting for us to not be playing our best volleyball, but to still scratch and claw our way to a win. And then on Saturday morning, we had an 8-hour, maybe a 7-hour window of sleep, and then we were back on the court within 2 or 3 hours. And so it was just a weekend that really tested our resiliency. It tested our grit, and I was really just pleased to see the team not give up and not give in. And we just fought and fought until we came out with the win in that fifth set. And a couple things could have not gone our way, and we would have walked out of there 2-1. And I thought a couple things went our way, but I think those things that went our way were within our control. I thought our attitude and our effort and our intentionality in the way that we were playing the game over the course of the entire match in that Saturday morning match was just really a testament to this team's grit. And I was thrilled to see that heading into this last week of non-conference with a really good NAU team tomorrow night at home, and then we go to their place Friday night. So a big week ahead of us, but a really nice kind of moment for our program to have that weekend go the way that it went. So excited for the week ahead.
Coming off that long trip, how will this Wednesday match with a team like NAU, who hasn't had the results they wanted, but that you were saying a second ago that they're getting players back that haven't been on the court?
Yeah, a couple players that hadn't been on the court for them are going to be back this week, and they're a very strong team, and their record isn't quite accurate depiction of who they are. We were just scouting them. We were looking back at older film. We were looking back at film from last year, and they're going to be ready to play. And they have a couple unique things that they do that we haven't seen yet, and that's what just, again, this non-conference for me and scheduling it the way that we did this year was to just see a bunch of different teams, see a bunch of different styles of play, so that when we get to the Mountain West, hey, we've seen setters that are very active at the net and want to go dump and throw around balls. We've seen attackers that hit with a ton of range and a ton of power. And so these things are all really good tests for us to go and battle with. And so, yeah, Brandon, the reality is that they're going to come in here ready to play.
So what do you feel like you still do need to see going into conference?
Yeah, I think, some of the things that we're getting exposed on right now is just really tough serving pressure over time. So that sustained pressure that we're facing, I thought we faced that against UCSD and against Liberty, and we didn't push back hard enough, in my opinion. And so that's stuff we're talking about this week in training. I think defending middles a little bit better than we have been. The middle third of the court, we need to defend that a little bit better than we have been. And so I think getting tested with NAU is going to give us that look that we need to see before we head into Mountain West play at Boise State and Utah State next week.
And just playing them, back-to-back, one here, one there, does that change kind of how you approach it?
Not really. I love that we've worked out that the relationship with the NAU coaches is where it is, because I love the way we've worked this out, because this is exactly what we need to do in Mountain West play. You may play one at home on a Tuesday, and then you're flying to San Diego State on a Thursday. So you have a one-day turnaround. The nice part about this with that one-day turnaround is there's going to be things that we're going to learn from that Wednesday night match before the Friday night match that we can go and address in a training at NAU, and then get back after it on the road in a really competitive environment. They do a great job with their match day experience, and it's a great place to play on a Friday night.
Coach, in the middle like that, how much of that is just, with some new players? I mean, they're veterans, but new to this team. So, I mean, how much of that is just going to be time and communication?
I think that's it. I mean, we still are exploring our depth. We're still exploring, hey, what players can step in for us and have massive impacts in matches. And I think that's the big part of it for us is we have a pretty interesting group of experienced veterans, and then there's this brand new group of really unique, different styles of play athletes in our program that haven't had those opportunities yet, and they're coming. And when they do come, I want those players to step up and step into those roles and say, hey, we can go do this. We've been training hard for this opportunity. When the opportunity comes, they can go and seize it. So I'm excited for this week. We're gonna try a couple things that we haven't quite seen yet, and I think the team's excited to go out and get after it.
Especially when there's that short of a turnaround. But I mean, anytime when you're climbing out of that O2 hole, I mean, it's a long way to go. What are you saying to the team, just to kind of take things in chunks?
Yeah, I think the first part was just get back to us. We just get back to what we do well, and a couple of things that we do well is we're just good over time. We don't make one elite play and then kind of fall off the radar for 7 or 8 points. And I think that was a big reminder to them. It was, hey, I was calling timeouts, just reminding them, hey, we can just be us, and we can just do our thing, and we can go be elite at just being us. We don't have to be elite at being them or anything they're doing. It's just about our side of the net. And so that was the reminders. I wish there was more technical or tactical information that was coming their way, but it was just constantly reminding of them who we are and how we want to be in these moments. And we talk about the ABCs for us, and that's we want to be aggressive, we want to be bold, and we want to be courageous in those moments. When we're down 0-2, it's all about the ABCs. Can we be aggressive every play? Can we be bold in those moments at the net? Can we be courageous on the defensive end? If we're doing those things, we're going to give ourselves a fighting chance.
Can you give us the gist of Leah's recruiting story and what she brings to the team?
Yeah, so Leah's from Switzerland, and she was playing there and had an interest in coming to the U.S. And so my previous assistant coach had a relationship with her coach for her team in Switzerland. And so we had heard, hey, there's a player in Switzerland that wants to come to the U.S., and would you guys be interested? And I saw some film, and I said, absolutely. She has a great serve. She has a great demeanor. She hits multiple attacks from different points along the net, so she's this really versatile attacker. And we got to know her over the course of a few months, and she had a few different opportunities in the U.S. In the NCAA system, and I think just it just kind of fit right here and fit with us, and so we're thrilled to have her, and we're thrilled that she's come along the way that she has in this very early part of the season. But we think it's a recruiting success story for us. We're excited about her, and we're excited that she's in week 4 of her collegiate experience, and she's getting recognized by the Mountain West.
So it's Leah?
Leah. Yeah.
And do you know of any NIL opportunities for your players at all?
You know what? That I'm not commenting on at this point. Yeah.
Can you just talk about the players on your team that you guys coming off awards this week?
Yeah, you have Yeshua Guerca, who's continuing to be this rock for our team, and this really this player that can do everything from passing to serving to defending to blocking and attacking, and so it was really nice to see her get that recognition. She took a ton of swings this weekend, and she got us out of a couple different jams. And then Callie Wolf, she's just a player that is just kind of, she's just calm, cool, collected. She's steady, and she just did a great job being her this weekend. That's something she and I talked about. Was, hey, we just got to get you back to you when she was having a couple tough moments, and she really fired up that the tournament, that it worked out the way it did for her to be recognized for that. And Leah, like we said just a second ago, it's been really great to see that in 4 weeks with us, she's already getting recognized by the conference as hey, this is a pretty I guess player that's going to have an impact. This high level player that's hey, she's already getting attention, which is really cool to see.
Last week, you talked about building to where you can do what you did at home last year, on the road this year, and it seems like you might have done that or taken another step along that way on Saturday. Could you talk about that?
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I mean, I think that's exactly what it was. It was a step in that direction of saying, hey, what does it take to be really good on the road? And I think we knew that playing those 3 opponents that we played against was going to test us. And in those moments of being tested, are we going to run toward that moment of discomfort of, hey, we're down 0-2, or are we going to run away from it? And I thought that the reality was that we had 15 women that ran towards it, and we ran to that discomfort. And they were being great teammates. They were being great for each other. They were competing their tails off, and it was just great to see us do that on the road against 3 really good teams.
Coach, with your mix of the older players and younger players and what you see today, realistically, it's not too private, do you see a championship team in the near future?
I think we're always pushing to be in the top third of the conference. We're pushing to be a team that can compete at the Mountain West Conference tournament and be playing our best volleyball in late November. Do I see that? Absolutely. I mean, otherwise, what gets me out of bed? I don't know. But what gets me out of bed right now is, hey, I want to see this team have the success that they want to have. And what we've said as one of our early goals is, hey, we want to be a top third team. And so we know that this non-conference schedule had to set us up for that. We had to play teams that provide different, unique looks at the net, that provide different servers that come after you. And the only chance that we were going to give ourselves was by playing a tougher non-conference schedule, so that when we got to conference, hey, we've seen this type of team, we've seen this type of setter, we've seen this type of offense, and hey, that's going to take us, that's going to give us what we need come Mountain West Conference tournament time to be one of the top teams in the league. So yeah, the answer is yes.
Does your team wow you sometimes?
Yeah, all the time. They also give me gray hairs. But yeah, there's a lot of wow in there. Yeah, there's some plays that we make that I'm hey, that is, yeah, they fire me up. They get me excited.